Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon the Master of Martyrs and peace be upon you adorers. Welcome to Shia Waves. I'm your anchor Ali Jassim, here to present and replenish your minds with the latest Shia world news. And now with the headlines. Imam Hussein Holy Shrine sends groups of preachers to Iraqi military camps. Bahraini opposition parties say the regime is leading the country to a political stalemate. .3 pilgrims performing Umrah before Ramadan. Groups of preachers from the Department of Religious Affairs of the Imam Hussein Holy Shrine have been sent to military camps to raise the spiritual level of the Iraqi soldiers from one hand and to defend their country on the other. The director of the Religious Affairs Department said that a group of preachers was sent to Al-Taji camp, north of the capital Baghdad, while other groups were sent to Al-Muthanna and Babylon training camps. Following the directions of the eminent Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Hussein Shirazi, may Allah prolong his life, in relieving the displaced families in Iraq, due to the terrorist attacks, the Unit of Public Relations at the Office of His Eminence in the holy city of Karbala has formed a relief committee for the displaced families of Mosul, Tal Afar, and Kirkuk. Despite the declining security situations, the first delivery of emergency relief reached Sinjar County, which included dried and canned food and drinking water to be distributed over 1,400 families. It is to mention that thousands of Shiite families from Tal Afar County were displaced into Sinjar County due to the wave of terrorist attacks led by the terrorists of the so-called Islamic State in Iraq and the Levant. Major General Muhammad al-Qurayshi, also known as Abu al-Walid, announced that Iraqi army forces began operations to clear the district of Tal Afar from the ISIL terrorists. Abu al-Walid said in a press statement that the army forces restructured and organized and are now ready to attack locations where the terrorists are fleeing. He had announced earlier that security forces gained control of the south of Tal Afar, killing a number of terrorists. Iraqi security forces retook control of 2 border crossings in their latest battles against ISIL Takfiri militants. Troops recaptured the troubled border crossing with Jordan and Walid Syrian border on Monday. Also, Iraqi warplanes launched airstrikes against the ISIL terrorists in the city of Tal Afar in Iraq's northwestern Nineveh province. Earlier on Monday, the army flushed the ISIL terrorists out of the Al-Uthaym district in Diyala province. Dozens of terrorists were killed and a number of vehicles with Saudi license plates were seized. The National Democratic opposition parties in Bahrain said the series of legislations issued by the Council of Representatives are unmatched on the international level. They said the legislations contradicted the Constitution and National Action Charter, let alone international agreements on freedom and respect of human rights. Members from the opposition parties spoke at a press conference at the headquarters of Al-Wufaq National Islamic Society in Manama. The National Democratic opposition parties have followed with serious concern the series of legislations issued by the Council of Representatives and have called on the King of Bahrain to disapprove these legislations through his constitutional powers. At least 10 people have been injured in a car bombing in a southern suburb of the Lebanese capital Beirut. According to media reports, a car bomb was detonated near a military checkpoint and a cafe full of football fans watching a World Cup match in the Dahia neighborhood. The attack occurred just days after another car bombing targeted a police checkpoint, killing 2 people and injuring 6 others in the town of Dar al-Badr. A national campaign that aims to challenge discrimination and stereotyping of Arab Americans and Muslims launched in Detroit. Several groups gathered at the office of the Michigan Department of Civil Rights in the Cadillac Building to kick off the Take on Hate campaign. Led by the National Network for Arab American Communities, the effort focused on public education, media outreach, and coalition building, as well as legislative reforms. The Take on Hate campaign was launched nationally in March in Washington, D.C., and in April in San Francisco. Other campaigns in New York and Chicago will launch later this summer. Metro Detroit has one of the country's largest concentrations of Arabs and people tracing their roots to the Middle East. The campaign tackles issues like the formation of a federal hate crime investigation task force, the creation of an act to end racial profiling, and the promotion of immigration reform. The number of Muslims performing the Umrah pilgrimage is expected to increase within the arrival of Ramadan. The latest statistics reveal that around 5.3 million pilgrims have entered Saudi Arabia up until Sunday, since the beginning of the Umrah season. Health officials stress the importance of vaccinations, which should be taken by pilgrims to protect against diseases. It is to mention that no Umrah pilgrim has been affected by the coronavirus during the current season. A new initiative has been launched in Singapore to educate Muslim youth about the significance of the holy month, using new media tools and social networks to attract them. This Ramadan plan will involve new media initiatives such as an interactive web portal, social media pages, a video competition, and a WhatsApp service that allows youth to get free Quran teaching services and daily tasks from administrators. The decision to focus on youth followed the research from the Singapore Islamic Hub, showed that about 60% of Muslim youth do not get full Islamic education. We have reached the end of our new show. Thank you all for joining in with us, and as always, remember our dua to hasten the reappearance of our beloved Imam Mahdi, peace be upon him. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.